Hey guys, it's Jessii Vee, and in today's video we're going to be talking about an unsolved mystery from 1942. I love unsolved mysteries, and lately it's all I've been wanting to research and film, so I hope you guys don't mind. But it seems like you guys really like it as well, especially ones from history, because they're so far back that at this point they probably will never be solved, which is crazy to me. Before we get started though, I just want to announce a couple new things on the website. My sister just came out with these really cool ritual bath packs, and each one of these is so unique and beautiful. It comes with candles, it comes with essential oils, it comes with bath salt, it comes with flowers. So literally, if you want to have a super aesthetic bath, you take one of these packs, you pour it into your bath, and it looks gorgeous, smells gorgeous, great for your skin. And there's all kinds of different ones. This one is the Christmas one. It comes with like cinnamon, burnt orange. I mean, it's literally so cool. So she does have a limited quantity of these, so if you would like any, I have linked them down below. And since we are on the topic of baths, I also came up with a couple cool things. We have the liquid moonlight bath pearls, and they're so gorgeous. And if you're like a texture person and you love having stuff like this in the bath, it literally like melts and like explodes in your hand. And we also have the unicorn tear version of these as well. So if you're a bath person, this is right up your alley. Everything is linked down below. All right, so let's talk about the unsolved mystery of the Phantom Barber of 1942. So we're first going to talk about this person's victims. Throughout 1942, residents of Pascagoula, Mississippi were terrorized by a phantom barber. He would break into homes late at night, but he wasn't there to rob the home. Instead, he was there to give women and girls an unwanted nocturnal haircut, leaving with nothing but a handful of hair. In mid-June of that year, he cut off the hair of 3 little girls in a span of just 1 week. The very first 2 girls who fell victim to this phantom barber was 11-year-old Mary Evelyn Briggs and 12-year-old Edna Marie Heidel. The 2 girls had been fast asleep in their bedroom at the convent of Our Lady of Victories when somebody crept into the room and snipped off their hair. Bloodhounds were called to the convent the next day, and they were able to follow the trail of the man to the edge of the woodland, where it appeared that he got a quick getaway on a bicycle. Then the next victim was 6-year-old Carol Peaty, and she had been awoken after sleeping next to her twin brother to find that somebody had cut off her blonde curls. Her parents found this sandy footprint on one of the empty beds in her bedroom, which they obviously presumed was from this phantom barber. Now, all 3 of these girls reported that the phantom barber didn't physically harm them in any way, and one of the girls had awoken to see the man launching himself through her bedroom window, and she described him to police as short and fat. So let's talk about the pursuit of this phantom barber, because he was very difficult to catch. First of all, the police couldn't even figure out what the motive of somebody like this would have. Like, what would make someone want to commit such a bizarre crime? And in an attempt to try and capture this phantom barber, police put forward a $300 reward, hoping that someone would speak up or would see him or would catch him. And at the time of this strange crime, the army had dim out regulations in the town, which had allowed the phantom barber to move through the area without fear of being sighted, because everyone had to turn their lights off at a certain time. So for a very short period of time, they decided to relax on these regulations so that all hours of the night the town would be lit up, which they hoped would make it easier to catch this guy. As more time went by, the reward soon went up to $500, which was a lot of money for 1942. And the police speculated that this phantom barber must have been a long-time resident of the town, because he seemed very well acquainted to the layout, especially in the dark. He was able to prowl through the night without being seen, and you have to be a pro of the town to do that. So then more victims began to arise. Before the month of June came to a close, the phantom barber took another victim's hair, but this time the victim wasn't a child, it was a woman for the first time. Her name was Mrs. R.E. Taylor, and she had been sleeping beside her husband and her 2 daughters when she had this vague recollection of something passing over her face. She said that she woke up and felt ill and saw that a bunch of her hair had been snipped off. She believed that the phantom barber had actually used chloroform to keep her asleep while he took off about 2 inches of her hair. And the next day, to everyone's surprise, it was announced that a man had actually been arrested arrested for these crimes. And so everyone in the town felt relief. They thought that he had actually been captured. While the Phantom Barber had not harmed anybody, the notion that somebody could slip into your home undetected and chop off your hair was a terrifying one to the entire community. So when he was caught, everyone was like, phew, my hair's gonna be okay. But then they started to think that they got the wrong man. The relief didn't last long because only a few days after they arrested the man they thought did this, a married couple named Mr. and Mrs. Terrell Heidenberg had been attacked on the night of June 13th. And they were actually both beaten with an iron pipe while they slept. And actually the husband was beaten with such force that he lost a few of his teeth. So the police thought that this must have been the Phantom Barber, even though historically he had not harmed anyone, he only took hair, and in this case he did not leave with either of this couple's hair. Then more break-ins in the area were reported. Late at night, somebody had been cutting screens and creeping into people's homes through their windows, much like the Phantom Barber. However, instead of cutting people's hair, this person would take their clothing and would throw it all over the floor, like they would mess up their house. They would also take dishes and chinaware and throw it on the floor. Everything would break and crash. So they released the man they had originally caught, thinking that the Phantom Barber must still be out there and maybe he's starting to do different kind of crimes. And then they arrested a man named William A. Dolan. He was 57 years old. They captured him in late July. He was apparently a German-educated chemist. And what's so creepy is that police found a large quantity of human hair behind his house. However, after Dolan's arrest, he constantly told people that he was innocent. And while this conviction answered some questions, one massive question still remained that everyone in the town was asking: did they actually capture the Phantom Barber, or was there a couple different people breaking into the houses that they thought was just one person, but it actually wasn't, and maybe the Phantom Barber was still out there? So this mystery is still categorized as unsolved because William A. Dolan said he was innocent of cutting people's hair. So the Phantom Barber could have still been out there, could have still been roaming free for a very, very long time. This whole thing is so confusing and so creepy because I cannot imagine waking up in the morning with part of my hair missing. No thank you. Anyways guys, that is the end of today's video. If you want me to continue doing videos on unsolved mysteries, bizarre mysteries from history, give this video a thumbs up and let me know. And don't forget, if you would like any of our new bath packages, I have linked them down below in the description. But I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!